Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be bringing to you a breakdown strategy on how I trade Volatility 75, the same strategy I use for gold, forex pairs and all of that. So as you're watching, this is a top-down analysis approach in which we use to trade these financial markets. Alright, so as you watch the video, whatever market you are trading, this is pure price action and we use it for all markets. It works, so pay attention because it applies in all markets. All right, so we are starting with Volatility 75 because that is what the trade that we have in front of us and we can easily demonstrate with examples. All right, so when we start an analysis, we go to the top down, right? So we look at the daily time frame. For instance, we can start from the daily. We identify all the various levels, horizontal support levels. I make sure I connect my trend lines. For those who follow me, you should know that in bigger time frames, we mostly have channels. So what I do is I connect trend line anywhere I see that price has reacted more than one. I draw a trend more than once. I draw a trend line there, above and beneath, right? You notice that price is going to react within those zones and it's going to guide on what to do on smaller time frame. We are not necessarily entering here. So what we do now, after plotting out these levels, making sure that I get all the touches, you notice that what here, you see that normally we have price going in a downtrend. Here we have impulsive move and pullback. All right, so to see clearer, we have already drawn the trend lines that are supporting in the bigger time frame. I noticed that here we had a breakout of this big channel, right? This major channel that was broken out. So at this point in time, we expect that price can come back to retest that small trend line there. So I'm just showing you guys how to read price action, right? To read price action, that's how it functions every time, over and over again. So once you see that price has broken below that major zone, we see that price could either break above there to continue going up, right, or it could retest that level there to drop. So now we drop further to a smaller time frame. Now in the H4, notice I still use my trend line, right? So I connected those levels. You can see this trend line. You just adjust it to get as many touches, right? Where you can get good touches, you adjust it. That is one thing that you need to understand, because when you adjust your trend line to get many touches, the more times price touch a zone, the stronger the zone becomes. You know, just plot out the various zone as you can. Just make sure that you have many touches, right? Okay, so if I take from that high and drag down, I have more touches, right? Amazing. So let's cancel this other one. Now you see we have many touches there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Price respected 4 times before breaking above the level. Now this is going to guide on. Now we can draw from the below. Like I said earlier, when you draw above, you draw below, because mostly price move in channels, right? So this is going to guide us to know that this is the circumference of where we are going to be trading in smaller time frame. Now you can see everywhere that we have our zone, we connected it. Now you notice that when we connected the other middle trend line, look, we just look for a way that it can get many touches. Look at, right, what happened? Price broke out of that trend line, retested, started respecting that trend line, failed to break the levels below, right? You can see that it started consolidating after a while. If you have been following my videos, you remember we were taking sales in the previous weeks. Now what happened? We have had price after consolidating for a while. Price now finally did what? After consolidating, before it broke below the zone, consolidated, failed to break that low. So price has been failing to break this low for a while. That is price action for us. At this time, we are skeptical to sell, so we want to see until price breaks below this zone or above for us to be looking for buys. Now what happened? Price finally breaks above there. Now when price breaks above there in a smaller time frame, we can drop to a smaller time frame now, knowing that we are expecting to buy up to those levels there, right? So what happened? We are bullish now, right? Based on our intraday move, we got to a smaller time frame. Now dropping now further to the H1 time frame, what happened? We now see that okay, this is it. Price now starts creating what? Series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, higher highs and higher lows, right? So what do we expect? We expect buys now. So when we expect buys, what do we do? At that level now, we use this trend line to connect now, because price is already showing us up moves. All right, this is where our entry now come in. So we have done our major analysis. Now we just look for entries. We in the bigger time frame is already telling us that we need to buy. So what happened now? price create high, low. So we have impulsive and pullbacks. So this is where we now look for an entry in a 50 minutes time frame. What do? We now look for chart patterns. That's when you start seeing chart patterns come in. You see, when price move in an impulsive move, it consolidates, sometimes creating a chart pattern. It could be a flag pattern, it could be a symmetrical triangle. This is how we use flag pattern in combination of other patterns or the general move of the market. Don't just go somewhere and be looking for a flag pattern. No, you have to know where the market is going to. From doing a top-down analysis, you already know where price is heading to, right? So from there now you look for chart patterns. Look at price was consolidating there. I know that after that consolidation, we're going to have the next move, right? So what did we do? We just pick up our trend line, connected that level there, right? Though we entered a little bit late on this account. So what happened when you connect like that? You already see that after breaking out of this zone, price consolidates. You look for the next breakout, take the next impulsive move. What happened? We wait again for the next consolidation. It takes the next impulsive move until price will reach a key resistance level in which we have already marked out in the bigger time frame, right? So it's already clear why we do top down analysis. Don't just, if you just came to this time frame for instance and you're just analyzing from here, it doesn't make too much sense. But make sure that you know where the general trend in the bigger time frame price is going to. So at this time you can easily get good moves by buying here. Okay, so that is it. For accountability, this is, you can see we actually gave the signals right on volatility 25. This is Saturday, right? This is a trade I was given on Saturday. Remember, these indices are open on weekends, so we gave it on volatility 25. We also gave on jump 25. Volatility 75, jump 25. We also gave a signal on what this Weltrade indices, which is forex volatility 20, right? There are also indices. Remember, it's not just Deriv that provide indices. There's another broker called Weltrade, right? You can sign up through the broker. I'm going to drop the link in this video's description below. You can either trade Weltrade or you trade Deriv indices. I trade with both of the brokers because they provide both indices, forex pairs and all of that, and you can trade them in the weekends as well. So shortly I'm going to bring the analysis to on jump 25 so that you guys can understand clearly. Okay, let's quickly do a top-down analysis on jump 25 so that in case you do not understand the case study on VX75, you can understand here. So here, this is it. We start, look at the weekly, look at the daily there, right? If you notice, I picked my trend line as well. I connected the highs and the lows. Everywhere I see that we have many touches. Like I said earlier, we have these indices moving mostly in channels in bigger time frame. We had price break below that level, came back, retested, close again above that level, and once it closed here, what happened? We expect price to move up, and when you see that swing there in the daily, it means that in a smaller time frame we have good moves, right? Good buy moves. So when price went above there, it cleared that zone, came back close below. So when it closed below this level, now what do we expect? We expect that from there price is going to drop like this. That's the daily. That's the information we have on the daily time frame. So when we have this information, we drop now to a smaller time frame. Look at the H4 now. In the H4, what happened? You notice that price is creating what? Series of lower lows and lower highs. It creates lower lows, lower highs. It pulls down, it consolidates, it pulls down, it consolidates, right? That is how price action moves. So what happened? We have the next move. The next thing to happen now is for price to create the next impulsive move, right? So now, once we have that information, the daily, the H4 coming together, if we drop now to the H1 or the 15 minutes, what do we want to look for? Entries. So now we have our chart pattern, which is a symmetrical triangle. Price formed there. And what happened? We finally got price broke below that level there, right? We actually send the signal on the general channel, which is free signals every day on those channels. So make sure you join the channel. The link will be in the pinned comment below, also in the video description, right? So as price breaks below now, we entered. So we have that possibility of price now dropping. This is a high probability, guys, high probability of price dropping down or coming to retest and then still dropping down. All right, because one, we have in the daily time frame price has broken below that major trend line that you see rising up like that, and when price breaks below, it shows bearish momentum. And once price consolidate after a bearish momentum, the next move is to take the next impulsive move and go right down where you see the arrow, the cursor, right? That is how to read price action, right? Looking at different time frames, but we are not entering on the bigger time frame necessarily, right? But we can have the information to help us know how to take out entries. So basically that is how you analyze, guys. That is how you do analysis. So I think by next week we should have a free Zoom meeting in the general Telegram channel as well, so that we can also have people ask questions and all of that. Make sure you join the channel, all right? And also you can sign up to our Weltrade, get involved in our free mentorship, which involves simply creating an account with this Weltrade broker or Deriv broker, becoming an affiliate. That's all. You get access to our daily analysis and all that has to do with it, so that you can learn more. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video if you liked it. Also let me know in the comment section below, guys. Make sure you engage as well.